Alright, what's going on, everybody? I just want to do a short video today. First thing, Donegal fishing show over in Maytown. We'll be doing that. I'll be doing that this weekend. I'll be over there. We'll have 2 tables, and we'll have some of our inventory over there. I'm going to focus on a lot of trout stuff, with a lot of specific smallmouth stuff for that show. And then everybody else is going down to Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, for a show as well tomorrow. They're going to have the majority of stuff. They'll have the walls and everything set up down there. So two shows going on this weekend. That's what we'll be at. If this reaches anybody down at Berkeley Springs, make sure you go to the high school, check out the show. It's for the team. If you're over there by Maytown, Lancaster area on that side of the river, make sure you come see us at Donegal. I have a fantastic trout fishing selection over there, and then a mix of some of our best smallmouth colors and smallmouth stuff over there for the Susquehanna. That being said, I'll do another video. We got to welcome a new store to the family, the Muddy Water Lures family. So we had a store that came in, wants to be part of it. So we'll be able to. Actually, I just shipped that out today. So we got a lot of stuff up there. They have some great stuff. I want to do a main video dropping on them for them, promoting their store and stuff like that, and what they purchased, and what you could tell by looking at their order what they're targeting up there. They have a great location. Their name is Two River Anglers. It's a beautiful looking store they have up there. I believe they have a cafe in the store as well. They're in Laxawaxen, PA. I believe it's the mouth of the Laxawaxen River, where it runs directly into, I believe, the Northern Delaware River. And I think they're right there at the mouth. It looks like awesome fishing. I think a lot of it's trout fishing, mixed with some smallmouth bass fishing, and then I'm sure there's some lakes and stuff spotted around there. I want to get more information on it so I can make an entire video based on that. But to get to the point, I just wanted to go through our baits real quick. I don't do too many how-tos or promotional videos when it comes to specifically showing my bait, but I got rid of Neds this year, and we're going to drop a new lure probably next week. I have it available that's going to replace Neds. If you couldn't tell, we're focusing on lures that you can fish for smallmouth, and then transition into largemouth with, but also used for trailers, for chatterbaits and different and swim jigs. We want to look for, like, the reason I got rid of Neds, they're easy to make, they're easy to use, they're popular, but you fish them one way, and that's really on a Ned rig, right? Maybe you're throwing a micro skirted jig out there or something, and you're using it as a trailer, but there's not much more you can do, which is the Ned. So we're trying to transition to offer lures that you're going to get more bang for your buck, right? You're going to be able to use it in 2-3 different ways other than just throwing it in your tackle box with, let's say, your Neds, and you're going to get that out a couple times a year to fish for smallmouth. So that's one thing I wanted to highlight today. So I wanted to look at what you can do with our lures differently. So of course you can rig them up on a jig head, you can rig them up on a Ned rig, you can rig them up tube jigs because we got tubes, shaky heads. You can always use that, but what I'm going to look for is trailers as well. And so one of the things we've been focusing on this year is stuff that you can use with chatterbaits. Now this one was bought for my father. This came directly from Spain. Somebody he knows was in Spain, and they bought him this one. It's actually Pittsburgh Steelers colors. It's a different lure, it's a different style, but it's a pretty looking chatterbait. It's got a nice blade on it. Not sure what that measures. I like small blades. Get a tighter, tighter shake out of them. A little bit of a long one here. It's a little long, but it is directly connected to the nose, which is good. Anyways. So I wanted to go over trailers for them, right? So the first thing is our 2.8 gilly, right? You could throw that on a Ned rig, fish it perfectly fine. You might even be able to Texas rig this thing and catch with smallmouth. You can throw it on a jig head and perfectly fine as well. You're going to catch fish on it. It's just a good size, perfect size, good profile, and it's versatile. You can also throw it on a drop shot. So there's multiple ways to fish this thing. But one of the ways I'm excited about is just using it as a chatterbait trailer. And so it looks like this. So that's what you got, right? Put it up here so it focuses on it. So that's what you got. Now, you want to go, I would go with a little bit more of a micro chatterbait, like a mini max or something, but that's not too bad right there. That's not too hateful. You got a lot of hooks sticking out, which is good for keeping the bass on. You got a very action tail. So when this thing's going through the water, this thing's going like this, right? It's going to be shaking back and forth. It's a good profile. And I'm not going to do it right now, but if you hook it right, I'll hold it like this instead of rehooking it. You even might be able to get that perfect bait fish profile off of it if you get it to come out the side correctly. And it most likely won't tear because it's a durable. It's a medium, a little bit above medium durability when it comes to the plastic we use. So it should hold up. You get it snuck out the side there, and you got a perfect. And now this thing's going like this, right? So these gillies are going to make an amazing chatterbait trailer as well. Our most popular chatterbait trailer, especially, well, it was very popular. People were picking these up for chatterbait trailers this weekend at the YBAC show, but it was very popular south of the Mason-Dixon line as well. But this is 4-inch pintail. This 4-inch pintail, it's going to fit on there pretty nice. You still got a decent amount of gap sticking out there to keep the fish on, get a good hook set, but also you got this tail just wagging back and forth. You got a lot of action in that thing, especially if you're throwing one that's got a bigger blade on it and you got a wider wiggle out of it, vibration out of it, I should say. You're really going to get that tail dancing. And then this one's a little different. This isn't a new one. We've been selling these eye crawls for a while now, and I mostly Ned rig these, to tell you the truth. There's another Ned rig option, but I also flip these. I also throw them on like a Texas rig. I like to do that. I had luck with that last year at Goldsboro, down there with the logs coming off the island and the water. I just take that Texas rig and flip it in there. But it can also be a decent chatterbait trailer. Those claws are going to be wiggling back and forth, especially if you like to slow stop your chatterbaits, or let them sink first and let them sit for a little bit, and then maybe drag them a little bit too over those shell cliffs. They're not really cliffs, but you know what I mean. The shell roots coming through the Susquehanna. But that's a nice action too with the chatterbait. But here's the new one. So here's the new ones going. Now I did skip to 3.5. So I honestly couldn't find a bad 3.5 in the shop to throw in there, and I didn't want to open up a bag. So 3.5 sonar shads would work too. It's a horizontal fork tail. It's not the best when it comes to action. You're not, because it's 3.5 and it's a fork tail. You're not going to get a whole lot of wobble. You'll get some. It'll be a beautiful looking profile, and you'll have enough plastic, enough meat on the lure to hold on that chatterbait. If you're comparing it to another horizontal one, and like a fluke, you're not really going to get a lot of meat out of that. They usually have a hook slot in them, so you're most likely just going to tear them up on a chatterbait. But the 3.5 sonar shads would be like that 4-inch pintail. But this guy right here would be the new one. So this here is where I'm gonna drop this next week. This is gonna replace our Neds right here. I think it's pretty nice for you guys that like to throw the. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's like a Ned. I just can't think of the name. It's like a slug in a way, I guess. But it's comparable to it, where you got an action tail, right? You got a slim profile. And this thing's going to be going down, up, and wild in the river, and then you set it back up. And the profile is mainly what we look for when we're smallmouth fishing. So we like to keep it around 3 inches, you know what I mean? Somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5 inches. I haven't got any 2.5-inch lures, but you could honestly, you could catch smallmouth on a 2.5-inch lure. You could take a 2.5-inch sonar shad that we use for trout and crappie and stuff. You could easily catch smallies on that if you wanted to. But we usually try to keep it in between 2 3/4, I should say, and 3.5. And so this is the next one here, and this is going to replace our Ned flat belly. You still throw a Ned head on there, and that's going to be the action you get. You probably also Texas rig this too, but you have to use a pretty specific hook for it. I don't know if you could do one of those larger hooks and something has a small profile like this. You can see it's pretty thin, but it'd be an excellent Ned rig bait, and you're going to get away with using it as well as a chatterbait trailer. So right there's your chatterbait trailer. So I got it on there a little crooked. Anyways, it's going to go like this in the water, and it's going to give you a decent profile too, right there. Nice little profile. Very similar to the gilly. A little bit of a different style. Very similar though. And you can fish them the exact same ways really when it comes down to it. Both these can be drop shot, both these can be Ned rig, both these probably could be flipped. I don't know if you're gonna, but could be. And then also use as chatterbait trailers as well. So that's gonna be the you can see there's a certain profile there we're looking for. So that's gonna be the new one next week. But anyways, I just want to highlight the fact I know I'm pretty beat today. I've been down here filling orders, still trying to catch up a little bit on the week, and then after this video is done, I'm gonna start packing and getting ready for these shows. And after that, we got Wellsville, so we'll have Wellsville next week. That we'll be going to, and then we got a Trapper show April 11th as well. A couple videos coming out again. I'll probably talk more in depth about trout season, and then also going over these new lures, these new Neds that we got, and introducing the new store. Absolutely, we want to introduce the new store. I can't wait to make it up there. Looks like an excellent location up there in Lackawaxen. So remember, like, share, follow, all the above, and I appreciate it. Have a good day.